Hey guys, once again it's Justin from GuitarMadeEZ.com, and today I want to teach you guys a little bit about power chords. Power chords are common in rock music, in punk music, and if you mastered the previous lesson on practicing regular chords, you know, like G, A, C, all the minor chords, stuff like that, this should actually be a lot easier. This lesson should be a lot easier to take in. So starting off, I'm going to show you basically what a power chord looks like. For example, here's an A power chord. See how much different that's? It's kind of like a harder, more direct tone. In movies and stuff, when they always talk about, you know, playing rock and roll, they always, you know, basically they'll play a power chord and they'll just, you know, kind of make it ring out like that. But that's an A power chord compared to a regular A major chord. Hear the difference? This one has a lot more like flavor, and this guy is a lot more direct and to the point. So as you can see, yeah, that's an A major chord. This is an A power chord, and this is the A power chord shape. You've got your pointer fingers going to be on the root note, which this note is actually A, and that decides where the rest of the fingerings go for the power chord. Okay, so right here that's A, and then you've got your ring finger is going to be 2 frets over on the 7th fret on the A string, and then your pinky is going to be on the A on the D string. This is an A note, and it's on the D string. When I pluck that open, it's D. So that's what it looks like. If you can kind of see, it's these fingers right here, and so I'm putting my pinky on that string, on the D string. I'm putting my ring finger on the A string, and my pointer finger on the E string. Okay? Now, this shape I can move all over the fretboard, and it's going to give me different chords. So starting off, there's A, but let's say I want to play a G. So I just take this shape, move it down here, and that's a G. Listen to the difference. G power chord, G major chord. And here's another cool little thing that kind of blows your mind when you're talking about guitar theory, is when I played that that G power chord, it shares the same root note as the G major chord. So you can play power chords and major chords in all different parts of the fretboard. A G power chord is down here because that initial pointer finger note is a G. That determines the rest of the that determines what the chord is. That first note determines the chord. So that's a G. If I move that same shape up to this G, that's a G. Alright, so let's see what else we got here. We got B. B is on the 7th fret on the E string, and then 9 and 9 on the 9th fret. So that's a B. And then where else can a B be? There's another B on the A string. And it's the same shape, so I'm creating different chords with the same fingering. So as long as your brain programs this fingering in, you can move it all around and get all kinds of cool chords out of it. It's a lot easier than taking all these multiple fingerings. Like there's a G fingering, you know, it looks like that. Then here's a C. You're moving your fingers around, which makes it a little bit more complicated. But this is all the same. You know, I can play a song with regular chords, or I can just do the power chords. Green Day actually uses pretty much all power chords. That's, I think, in 99% of their songs, that's all they use. You know, in Basket Case, all it is and that's all they do, and they just add some palm mutes in, so it varies up the rhythm. So power chords are super easy things to comprehend, and it's definitely going to make your punk music and your rock music sound a lot better. One thing that goes hand in hand with power chords is palm muting, and basically all that is you grab a power chord, and with this hand, it's nothing changes with your left hand, but with your right hand, you're putting your palm just a little bit over those strings. So you're kind of getting that sound out of it. And on an acoustic guitar, it really doesn't sound that great. But if you go to an electric, this is basically where all the rock and all the punk comes from. more distortion you put on, the better it sounds. So. So that's it. And actually, I guess, more in detail on power chords, this is a regular A power chord. Let me go back to my acoustic guitar. So that's a regular A. And here's another type of power chord that you might use. And it's even easier. Take the pinky off. This is called an A5. And if you're looking at tablature online, punk tablature or rock tablature, usually in punk, this is all they play. Punk music is super easy to play. And so they just use these two fingers, and it's the power chord that I showed you, but minus the pinky. And you move this all around, and it'll give you, as many different chords as you want. Just figure out what note are you playing when you play that pointer finger note on whatever string. So this note right here, that's an E, so that's an E power chord. This note right here is a C, so that's a C note power chord. This note right here is also a C, so that's a C note power chord. But then, let's say if I'm playing an A5, so I take the pinky off, it's a little bit more direct, even more so than a regular power chord. It's just two strings, so there's really not a whole lot of flavor or you can't really differentiate the notes. So, there's an A, A5, there's a C5, another C5, a D5, because once again, that's the root note right there. But it's the same shape, so it makes guitar playing super easy. And with power chords, that's pretty much it. All I've got for you today. And the next step will probably be bar chords, which are basically it's a power chord, but you bar this finger over the entire fret and add this middle finger on one of the notes, and this gives you a more flavorful tone. So. Alright guys, that's it. That's all I got on power chords, but be sure to check back and keep on rocking. Alright, thanks.